50 Cent just revealed why Diddy wasn't in the Epstein files, and once you start connecting the dots, the hidden videos and testimonies begin to line up. His new documentary is on the way, and he claims it will expose some of the biggest names in Hollywood. So, who was really behind Epstein's private island, and what was happening there? In this video, we're looking at the names, the connections, and why Diddy wasn't in the unredacted files.
One person who wasn't in the Epstein files was Diddy. And this person said the reason why Diddy wasn't in these files was because he was his competition. So I was like, man,
he was whose competition?
Epstein. Diddy was Epstein's competition.
No way.
Diddy wasn't at none of the Epstein parties or at the island.
Just a week ago, the Department of Justice released over 3 million pages of records, around 2,000 videos, and nearly 180,000 images tied to Epstein investigations. Much of it had been redacted for years, but the unredacted files revealed links to some of the most powerful people in the world. One surprising absence was Shah Diddy Combs. Arrested nearly a year ago and facing over 100 lawsuits involving serious allegations, many expected his name to appear. So how could two men accused of similar crimes not be publicly connected? Even more strange, Diddy's close associate Jay-Z is reportedly named dozens of times. One file claims Epstein viewed entertainment influence as a way to pacify the public. The CEO of Barclays tells Epstein that the reason there is no revolution against the elites is because the public has been pacified by bread and circuses, like hip-hop culture. He concludes the group that should be in the streets has been bought off by Jay-Z. That's just one reference. While people around Diddy allegedly crossed paths with Epstein, Diddy's name doesn't clearly appear. Some online speculate it may still be redacted, as multiple documents reference a third unnamed person in meetings with Jay-Z and Epstein.
When she later awoke in the presence of Harvey Weinstein and Sean Carter, known as Jay-Z. This person claimed that Harvey Weinstein inserted his fingers into... She believed that she was in Epstein's mansion in Florida. This person estimated that she was abducted on 7 occasions, awaking each time in an indoor setting. She said that she suffered abuse on multiple of those occasions in which Epstein participated. She claims that she recalled Leon Black and William Barr, the current United States Attorney General, being present during some of the occasions of the abuse.
50 Cent reacted to Jay-Z's name in the files by announcing a documentary. He previously said Part 2 of his Diddy project would include 300 hours of unreleased footage implicating additional figures. It's possible he'll attempt to outline how their circles overlapped. They moved in similar elite spaces, met the same powerful people, yet reportedly never interacted directly.
You know 50 Cent was somewhere stretching his fingers like, another post. 50 probably woke up, saw the headlines and said, God is good. 50 Cent jumped on Instagram and posted the article on his page and wrote the caption, I know I'm late on this, but this is kinda crazy. What do you do to get thrown into that mix? And he posted a picture of Jay-Z and wrote the caption, damn, they got my man Jay in the Epstein files. I gotta do a doc on this. Bro, don't tell me you about to do a Jay-Z documentary that's gonna be even more spicier than the Diddy one you dropped. Now, we all know that 50 lives for moments like this. This is like Christmas, Thanksgiving, and tax season combined in one. 50 don't even need facts, he needs content.
3 online discussions have drawn parallels between Diddy and Epstein, including speculation about intelligence ties, though no verified evidence confirms that. Suge Knight once alleged Diddy had federal connections and referenced the many cameras in his mansion. A viral tweet summed up that theory, dropping in to reflect on the hashtag Diddy situation. What I find most interesting about all of these allegations that have come to light is that it is crystal clear that Diddy is a U.S. intelligence asset dedicated to collecting blackmail to be leveraged against powerful people. Similar to both Jeffrey Epstein and Playboy's Hugh Hefner, he allegedly had cameras in the mansions where he threw elaborate Hollywood parties. Epstein also had hidden cameras throughout his properties. Victims testified they were recorded, but much of that footage has never been publicly released. Authorities have not confirmed any coordinated blackmail operation.
Jeffrey Epstein's victims have long said they believe they were being filmed by
ex-offender. And this footage from a spy cam style camera inside Epstein's Palm Beach house appears to show just that. The footage has been obtained for the first time by Channel 4 News. Because the quality is so grainy, during our investigation we analysed it frame by frame, and we've slowed it down here so that you can see what's happening. A man, likely Epstein himself, at one point looks towards the hidden device. Images of what seems to be his accomplice, Ghislaine Maxwell, as well as what appears to be several women or girls. So how do we know what this is and where it comes from? Epstein's Palm Beach property was raided by law enforcement in 2005, where police filmed this footage. Pause it here. You can see his office in the corner of the ground floor living area. This is the exact same office captured in the spy cam footage.
You can see his office in the corner of the ground floor living area. This is the exact same office captured in the spy cam footage. Nicki Minaj also posted tweets criticizing powerful figures in entertainment, intensifying speculation online. Are y'all understanding that these people have been sacrificing children as a way of gaining and maintaining power? If you ever vote Democrat again, you're just as soulless as they are and will perish. Maybe it's time for me to do some story times since I was trying to not say what I know. Yet, they continue to attempt bullying. Also, I won't be releasing an album until my contract is renegotiated, and until I tell you about all the sabotage this Rico is finding out about Billboard.
What Nicki Minaj had to say. She wrote, "Your favorite artist has been practicing rituals in a satanic cult where they take babies from other countries and mutilate them as a form of blood sacrifice to their god. You see, when your master is Satan, you must constantly shed blood. However, the jig is up." And yeah, she's not the first person in Hollywood to say that. I just don't know how much could be in our face anymore before we wake up and realize these people are ruling over us and they win when we're fighting with each other. That's just reality. I really don't see how you can have a ton of success in Hollywood and not be in the club, because Hollywood was founded upon this. I just don't really care what you call me. It's time for everyone to wake up.
For years, rumors surrounded Jay-Z's name. Kanye mentioned him and Push A.T. long before the document releases, adding fuel to speculation. Still, public mention is not proof of wrongdoing.
People like Jay-Z and Pusha T, they made their living our people, so how the they gonna stand up for our people? You know what I'm saying? But we forget that because we love Jay-Z's music so much. We love Pusha's music so much, right? But you think they would ever, Beyonce had the best fit for somebody else? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? You think they would ever tell the truth? No, if they told the truth, they didn't go to jail. You know what I'm saying? So you have liars. Liars are now the face of our culture.
Z is only one of many high-profile names reportedly appearing in the files. The case extended beyond the U.S. Prince Andrew from the royal family was also named in the latest release. Photographs appearing to show Prince Andrew Mountbatten Windsor kneeling on all fours over a female lying on the ground have also been included in the latest Epstein files release.
Let's bring in writer and broadcaster Esther Cracker joining us from the UK. Esther, this is a shocker. He is a disgrace. What more can the royal family do? They obviously want him to hide from public sight forever.
Yeah, I think the latest basically series of the Jeffrey Epstein files is kind of what pushed the king over the edge. And I'm sure he's kind of slowly losing his mind because they wish the scandal would go away. But obviously the complete lack of judgment by the Yorkses, so Sarah Ferguson and the prince formerly known as Andrew, has just kind of made this much worse. I mean, I would say this latest entrancement has shown actually the greed of Sarah Ferguson. But on Prince Andrew, there was a picture that is now circulating of him on all fours hovering over a woman that we don't know, that is not moving. And obviously this doesn't necessarily suggest any wrongdoing, but it just shows the kind of the degree of his relationship with Jeffrey Epstein. And I think the real scandal that people just can't get over is the fact that he actually repeatedly denied having any sort of contact with Jeffrey Epstein after his conviction for pedophilia and sex trafficking. And that's clearly proven to be false. Even Sarah Ferguson, in an email exchange a couple of years, I believe, after he was convicted, said that she wanted to be his pet. So clearly this is not someone who had disavowed this man until they actually had a public falling out, I think in 2011, where they severed ties completely.
See, some of these Sarah Ferguson emails are pretty disturbing too. It seems that she's aware at least of the role of girls and beautiful women in all of this. She seems to be encouraging and even offering up people.
The allegations tied to Epstein are deeply disturbing. Some diary entries from 2002 reportedly claim a teenage victim gave birth and was forced into repeated pregnancies. Many details remain redacted and unverified publicly.
Jeffrey Epstein had a secret child who was taken from its teenage mother at birth. This according to newly unearthed documents from the investigation into Epstein's crimes. Buried in the latest batch of the Epstein files are claims that Epstein fathered multiple children, including one by a teenager. In an anonymous diary entry, a woman describes how at 16 or 17 years old, she gave birth to a baby who was taken away from her just moments after delivery. Included is a copy of a pregnancy scan dated to 20 weeks gestation. She alleges Ghislaine Maxwell supervised the birth and writes that Epstein told her he wanted to create a superior gene pool. The diary was shared by the woman's lawyers, with federal prosecutors investigating Epstein and Maxwell. The Times was able to confirm the woman's real name, but has chosen to protect her identity. I was not able to verify the woman's claims, and if true, what happened to the newborn. It's never been publicly confirmed that Epstein fathered any children, and there's no mention of any offspring in a will he drew up in the years before his 2019 death in a New York prison cell. But several names in the will have been redacted.
Similar accusations appeared in past testimonies. Epstein faced federal sex trafficking charges before his death, and investigations into associates continue.
Needs to be some of those videos in these latest releases, and we can play a couple of minutes of that now, in which Epstein discusses being a sex offender.
Is your money dirty money? If you live, I just asked a question. Is your money dirty money?
No, it's not. So, in fact,
why is it not dirty money?
Because I earned it.
But you earned it. We went back to this before. You earned it. You earned it advising the worst people in the world, right? That do enormous bad things, and just to make more money.
So, instead of asking me the question, should you take the money? Because I think it's a legitimate question.
You think it's a legitimate question?
Yes, no question. Because I think ethics is always a complicated subject, but I can tell you that with the money I gave to help try to eradicate polio in Pakistan and India, instead of asking me whether that money should be given to these children for vaccines, I think you might want to ask their mothers who received the vaccine, who know their child now won't get polio, and ask them if Epstein should have helped these people.
Bill Gates' name also generated headlines. Emails from August 18th, 2013 were reportedly included in the release. Gates has admitted meeting Epstein and later called it a mistake. Melinda Gates said the association contributed to marital strain, but no criminal charges have been filed against him in connection to Epstein.
Here's Bill Gates responding. Go ahead, Rob.
To a lot of very rich people, and he was saying he could get them to give money to global health. You know, in retrospect, that was a dead end, and I was foolish to spend time with him. I was one of many people who regret ever knowing him.
You've no doubt seen the allegations, including some of them from the last 24 to 48 hours. Are they true?
No, apparently Jeffrey wrote an email to himself.
Draft.
That email was never sent. The email is, false. So I don't know what his thinking was there. It just reminds me, every minute I spent with him, I regret and I, apologize that I did that.
The problem is some of the things that he has sent, some of the information about other people that has come up in those files has been true. Why would he do this and say this about you here?
It's factually true that I was only at dinners. I never went to the island. I never met any women. And so, the more that comes out, the more clear it'll be that although the time was a mistake, it had nothing to do with that kind of behavior.
Emails also suggest former Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick visited Epstein's island in 2012 with family, later confirming the visit during testimony. Elon Musk was referenced in communications as well and has publicly denied wrongdoing.
And a top Justice Department official says the review of the Jeffrey Epstein files is over. The same official indicated there would be no new charges. Now the Trump administration is facing backlash from Epstein's survivors and Democrats. This was California Congressman Ro Khanna yesterday.
There is a demand for elite accountability, but the survivors' lawyers that I've talked to have said that the survivors are still upset. They're upset that many of their names accidentally came out without redactions, and they want to make sure the rest of the files come out.
CBS News Justice correspondent Scott MacFarlane joins us from our Washington bureau with more on this. Scott, you've been sifting through as much of this as you can. What's in this so-called final batch?
It's a process. We're still working through millions of pages here, Errol. And it's worth noting these were released more than 40 days after the legal deadline for the Department of Justice to do so. No one besides Epstein and former associate Ghislaine Maxwell has been charged, but the Department of Justice insisting its work is done has only fueled more controversy.
One, as more documents surface, the focus is shifting from shock to accountability. Being mentioned in files is one thing, proven criminal involvement is another. The bigger question is how such a network operated for so long. If you want updates on 50 Cent's documentary and future document breakdowns, subscribe and turn on notifications. Drop your thoughts below. Coincidence, elite overlap, or something bigger?